Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's Rick and Rob talking about real estate today again. How you doing, Rick?
I'm doing well. I like the sound of that, Rick, the Rick and Rob show.
Rick and Rob, right?
Yeah.
It's good. But
So
yeah,
what question are you surprise me with today?
well, see, today I think what we need to do is talk about where the market's going in 2022. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, that's a good one, especially now. This morning, everybody knows the story: short supply, higher raising interest rates, and the Fed's going to taper their bond buying program. But this morning, the timing of your question is great. This morning, the average interest rate, 30-year mortgage interest rate, crossed over the 4% line. And, there's a whole lot of ramifications of that. One of those ramifications comes from the fact that that there's been so many people, Rob, that have refinanced their home or bought a home in the last 10 years that have a sub 3% interest rate. Let's call it 2.5, 2 5/8, 2 7/8. When
Right.
the interest rate goes up all the way up to 4%, which is still 2 full percentage points below the 30-year rolling average. So by any stretch of the imagination, it's still cheap. The problem is millions and millions of people, kind of like Carl Sagan there, but millions and millions of people have this great interest rate. So here's kind of how it goes. They're thinking, maybe I should move up. Maybe not, but maybe. What's it going to cost us to do that? So the house they want to buy is substantially more expensive. Now, certainly the one they have has appreciated, but the one that they are thinking about buying is going to be substantively more. And the cost of housing finance is up about 50% over what it was even a year ago. From 2 5/8 to 4, that's a huge jump.
It is.
Call it 55%. So, boy, they really have to want to move. The housing inventory, the standing inventory everybody talked about last year, low housing inventory. Well, that's an interesting point, but there were houses coming to the market and the churn rate was enormous. So we had tremendous unit count in sales. Sales were high, but now, in order for that short supply marketplace to correct, a lot more people are going to have to put their house in the market. And when they have to pay 55% more, as it stands right now, 50 to 55% more for their housing finance costs, they're going to say, you know what, maybe we should hold off. The first time we bought at those low interest rates, we bought the right school system, the right size house, got a great yard in the neighborhood we wanted. We don't really need to move. And at those prices, it's too dear. I'm going to sit where I am, further depriving the market of inventory. And what that means is average selling price in America is going to continue to drive higher, and unit count is going to drop. So that's a tough situation. I just got off a national call with all of our broker owner operators, and we talked all about the tactics and techniques that we need to deploy to help our agents succeed. And we need to retool, because when the market starts to slow down, if you're not in a disciplined habit of prospecting for new business, and you're not using the tools to help you do that, then you're going to suffer. So we're teaching our agents to be navigators of the waters and not victims of it. And that's kind of, your question's perfectly timed. We literally just got off the call with our entire national network. Market's going to be challenging.
Well, I think, that probably is a good thing. A lot of things come from when there's been a challenging market or a correction or difficulty, that type of thing. I mean, heck, I got into real estate and recruiting realtors back in 2008. And we remember what happened in that year. It was a little different, and then 2012, I remember we started Pro Broker Agency 10 years ago now, and that was a huge correction. That was supposed to be something to take notice of, but it seemed that the real estate industry just continued to truck on. It just seems to, unlike a lot of the other industries that may have felt a pinch, like hospitality or travel and things like that, throughout the last 2 years. Of course, real estate's done very well, and there may be a shortage of supply, but still, in these kind of times, this is where you develop the systems that win for the long term. That's what I've always thought. If you can, right?
Very true. I mean, that, you know, you got in 2008. From 2008 to 2013, the number of agents in the business in the U.S. dropped by about 30%, 28, 29%.
I remember that.
That's a huge fall off, huge fall off. But what most people don't realize is, even though the total number of agents, it's kind of like the same story about standing inventory. Standing inventory was way low, but the reason standing inventory was low in 20 and 21 was because everything that came on the market just went so fast. It was, you know, a quick turn market. Same kind of thing with real estate agent decline of 28% during that time frame that you just talked about. That's one way to look at it. The other is, during that time, a lot of states had a 60 or 70% decline in the number of new agents getting into the business. And that's where you come in, and the work that you do to help brokerages recruit is going to be so important in the next 2 to 3 years, because there's going to be a decline in the number of new agents racing into the business. So even though it's been a great market, can't complain. It's going to get tough. And as the saying goes, you know, when the going gets tough, the tough get activated, the tough get going. And we're teaching our agents how to be activated and go hunt for business under every rock, every nook, every cranny. Use the tools that we provide for them so that they don't, like I said, they don't become victims of the market, but they're able to navigate the choppy waters.
I love it. Rick, our talks are always so great. I hate to cut it short today. Maybe we'll continue this on the next call.
Glad to do it. See you soon.
All right, Rick, have a great day. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great week.
Bye, everybody.